What's up, guys? John from Heavyset Knife Company. This is an update on what's going on, and I have great news. I have been getting really overwhelmed lately with the aspect of managing a new business and starting it and the shop stuff. Two different worlds. Website, third-party processing for credit card purchases, PayPal, bank account, blah, 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 blah. And then making of the knives, the creativity, putting in the footwork and the time, and designing and all that stuff. There's kind of two worlds. So I was having trouble juggling both. So I'm juggling, and I kept tripping because I'm very good at managing chaos. So I kind of let that go a little too far and realized that it's okay to let somebody else finish building my website. So So make a long story short, my dad is retiring in 60 days from the college he's worked at for almost 40 years. And our dream has been to have him retire and us to have a business together. And when it kind of funneled down, ever since I was a kid, that was what we always thought would be so cool. Just me and him to have our thing, you know? And I have an older brother that might, join us someday, which would just be great. But so it funneled down, and I got older, and I land on knife making, which is something that he thinks is way cool. I'm obviously I eat, sleep, and breathe knives. It worked out. So make a long story short, today's one of the days where he's off. He's in the shop with me, and I'm teaching him how I glue up and make handle scales for the hunters. And this is a partially ground hunter. As you can see, my saber grinds have just been getting really dialed in on this hunter. These are about 150 thou thick Nitro V, just these few. So make a long story short, guys, I told you the website would be up this week because that's how the time framing kind of played out. And I got to a point where I was able to say, look, I cannot do both right now because I have a lot of work to do in the shop. I don't want to put it all on my dad, all the kind of management stuff, because he's not ready to leave his job yet because he retires in about 60 days, which I couldn't be more excited or grateful for. And he's really excited too. So we have our weekends together to kind of get caught up on where I'm at out here, what else we need for the business stuff. We got the business bank account, everything set up. So it's been a very busy couple of weeks. So make a long story short, I reached out to this guy that manages a lot of other websites like USA Made Blades, Primitive Bear Knives, a few other websites. He manages them and he works alongside Shopify. So I contacted him just to see what his kind of offer was and what he can provide as a service. So needless to say, in about a week and a half at the most, my website's going to go live. Right after that, we got our first drop. I'm going to have really cool stuff like newsletters and countdowns till my drops. Guys, there are three tickets here. There are three important pieces to my knife company that I will not compromise for any amount of money or anything going on. And these are open lines of communication. If you have an issue with a knife or an order, I can't stand when makers do that, like I'm the behind the pane of glass kind of guy. You can't get to me. You can't just reach out and say, hey, I'm having trouble with this order. You can't just call people anymore. Me, no matter how hectic it is, I don't care if I have to get a business line put out in the damn shop. If you have an issue, you can call my phone or message me with a voice message on Instagram. Anyone that has purchased one of my knives privately or had just been a fan that had questions about pricing when my website drops, they'll tell you. They message me on Instagram within 24 hours, especially if we're not following each other. I have to go into my message requests, which I forget to do sometimes during the day. But usually at night I remember, and I go into it and I reply to all those messages. So clear lines of communication to me as the provider of a good is important to me and my father. 2, no pre-orders or wait times on purchasing. If I have in-stock items, guys, one thing that drives me up the wall is when I see something that's not a pre-order, it is an in-stock item. And I know things happen. Like if you live in a remote area right now, UPS only comes like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. UPS is so like jacked up right now, they don't even come to certain people's shops that are in the middle of nowhere, depending on the state, because, you know, they don't have enough people to go, or there's no reason to go out there that frequently or something. So it's not a situation like that. I live right near clear locations for shipping and have that all set up already. When you buy something from me, it's going to ship the following morning. If you buy it at night, it'll ship the next morning. If you buy it on a Sunday when everything's closed, it'll ship Monday. Immediate shipping and clear lines of communication. And then the third card is everyone that buys a knife from me is going to, if there's any problem with that knife, let's say you're using it to do something that is not, like if you're trying to pry a door open, this is the new prototype for my EDC3. If you're trying to pry a door open with this and it's in Magna Cut or Nitro V or 20 CV, a stainless steel that's more brittle, and you break this knife in half, I know the tolerances of these knives pretty well. Been testing knives for a long time. You were doing something you shouldn't have done. If you break the tip off, send it to me. I'll reprofile it, make a new sheath for it, get it back to you. You know what I mean? It's something reasonable like that if it's just the tip. If there's any kind of failures and you can see that maybe the steel I got had a crevice in it or there was an issue, I will eat that and make you a new knife. Guys, this is not a knife company where I have $800,000 of CNC mills in here. It is me in a 40 by 40 shop with my old man helping out part-time right now. If you need something, you contact me and I will make it right. If it is anything to do with the fault of the knife, I will absolutely take care of that. And when you buy a knife from me, guys, there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to sharpen knives. There's a lot of people that buy knives or like having a knife or like using knives, but they're not very good at sharpening. So anyone, period, that buys a knife from me, you pay for shipping to send it to me. I will sharpen it whenever you need sharpening. I don't care if it's once a month, once a week, once a year. If it's once a day, we got a problem with the knife, and I'll sort that out. But open lines of communication, immediate shipping, and none of those, it says in stock, you buy it, and then 4 days later, you get an email with a No. When you purchase it, you get a confirmation email with your order number and shipping info, and then it ships. So no, a week later, you still haven't heard anything after you just spent $300 on a handmade fixed blade. None of that. And the any one of the people that are really starting to know me know, if you need me, if you need something, if I have done something at fault with the knife, if you need a broken tip reprofiled, or there's an issue with the handle scales, let's say the liner, God forbid one of the liners delaminates, anything like that, you just contact me, I'll take care of it. I am not in this to get rich, guys. I hear a lot of people say like, oh, it probably cost them $50 to make that knife. Why is it $400? I get that, right? And I used to say that. But when it comes to, all these high-end steels take so much abrasives and time and blades on the bandsaw cutting the blanks, and maybe I'll get my blanks laser cut at some point, but I'm doing small batch stuff. So this is just an update video, and I wanted to say thank you for all the support. We got a lot of really cool stuff coming, a lot of new prototype models for a 3.8 inch roughly bladed knife, my EDC3, my Hunter XL, and now I have a newer one that there's going to be a few of these on my first drop. This real large big boy out of Nitro V. I wanted to use Nitro V because it's stainless, holds a decent edge, it's pretty tough, and I don't have to charge you $500 for a freaking knife. I know I've paid $1,000 for knives, trust me. I'm not knocking high-end knives. I know why they're that expensive. But I am a new maker. My stuff's going to be priced accordingly. And if you want one of these big bad boys, there might be 1 or 2 or 3 on that first drop that are kind of specialty ones. It's still a prototype. It's still something I'm working on, but it's very comfortable. 6-inch blade, nice and broad, nice and slicey. Gabe over at The Last Huntsman really likes that one. So yeah, make a long story short, this is a really exciting time, guys. We're going to have new models and cool stuff dropping on the website. I'm going to kind of run by the, you know, every month I'll do a drop, roughly. At the end of the month of every month, I'll do a drop of the stuff that I have ready for that drop. You know, if something's selling a lot more than other things, maybe I'll make more of that. Try to keep up with that demand a little bit, if there is a demand, because again, it's scary when you start a new business with a new service or good. So, guys, I hope this video was informative a little bit. I'm just here to say that I love knives. I am not doing this to get rich. The high price of shipping and steels, you know, let's say, because I'm not buying sheets right now, I'm buying bar stock. This piece of CPM MagnaCut right here, that's 36 inches long. How many hunters could I really make out of this? 1, 2, 3, 4. This piece of MagnaCut was over $100. I mean, the price of steel is just, plus crucibles closing and all that. But Nitro V has stayed much more affordable, so I'm going to lean on Nitro V for a lot of my mixed stuff of people that just want a good stainless knife. It's not going to rust, it's going to hold a good edge, going to be pretty tough. But yeah, my dad and I are doing this together, and it means a lot to me, the support that I've got so far. I can promise you, you are always going to be able to just contact me with any kind of issue or thing that you see that you don't like or want to change or whatever. All you got to do is send me a message. I'm not, you know, Anthony Marfione over here. So that's what I like, and that's why I'm keeping this a smaller business. So I'm going to thank Alan from Primitive Bear Knives. I'm getting a phone call there. I'm going to thank Alan from Primitive Bear Knives because he actually was the one that put me in contact with the guy that really just saved my stress level right now. And yeah, make a long story short, which I've probably said 3 times already, I just wanted to get on here and tell you guys in about a week or so that website's going to go live. Then right after that, 2.5, 3 weeks at the most, we're going to do that first larger drop. In between there, I'm going to be doing some customs and some cool numbered stuff, and it's going to be a blast. So, you know, to stick along for the ride. You know, if you guys like something, reach out. If you want something that you missed, guys, and that's part of it. I'm not going to be able to do this all the time, but like for these first 5, 6 drops, 4 or 5 drops, you know, if someone didn't get one of my hunters and they really, really wanted one in the OD green with orange liners, the main color scheme on this, you know, let's say you just got off work and you missed the drop and you send me a message. I'm still going to make you one if you really wanted one. Everybody will tell you that, you know, all these guys that contact me so far that see that my prototypes online and really like them, you know, half of them have asked me to make them, and I'll throw them in rotation and get them done. So very relaxed over here, very genuine over here. I just want to make enough to pay the bills doing something I love, which is making knives. And that's all it is. And to be able to get to share that experience with my father, I wish he was here right now. He was hitting Harbor Freight, Lowe's then Harbor Freight. We're going to take care of some little spots that are letting some cold air in the quarters of the shop here. But yeah, make a long story short, it's just, you know, I when I was younger, I was always about the finish line. You know, it's about the journey, not the destination. So I am gonna try to stay in the moment, try to stay very present and contactable by anyone that is buying stuff from me. Anytime anyone needs anything sharpened, and I will put a limit on what I will resharpen, but like, let's say you have one of my knives and a knife you just bought from Benchmade or DLT Trading or any of these other people, and you really want to get it sharpened, you know, send it along. That's fine. So all, you know, anytime you need me for little stuff like that, just reach out to my Instagram or email me at heavysettactical@gmail.com. My Instagram and YouTube are going to be changing to Heavyset Knife Co. My Instagram's already changed. But yeah, so website live in about a week and a half, 2.5 weeks, we're going to do the first drop. We're going to have a lot of fun. And, you know, everything I've sent out is really testing through the roof, which is such a blessing. I know what these companies go through now when they put all this heart and all this money into prototyping a model and then they send it out. You don't know if that steel batch had some crazy defect where it's going to crack right in half. You don't know if the heat treat was funny from wherever you're sending it for a heat treat, which I do everything from start to finish. Every one of these blanks I cut out from bar stock, I shape, punch holes in, heat treat, blast, or grind my bevels, blast, tumble, and put on the fixtures or hardware and handle materials that I glued together myself. Everything is done by me. So I don't, you know, so when I said send out for heat treatment and stuff, most knife companies do. And then they send that product out to get tested, and they know it, you know, it's kind of nerve-wracking. It's a little more nerve-wracking for me because I make everything by hand. So, you know, I can't say, oh, well, Pete's Heat Treat did the heat treat on that steel, so maybe they screwed it up and that's why it's not holding an edge. Everything here is on me. And so far, everything I've sent out has been really testing through the roof and being really enjoyed by the guys that are testing it. And you know, if there was a problem, you'd know about it. If there was any scrupulous behind-the-scenes stuff going on, and, you know, any skeletons in the closet, you'd know about it. I just want to make knives, make a little bit of money while I'm doing that, and get to enjoy the remaining time that I have with my father. And that's what this knife company is all about. So, guys, you need anything. I try to check and reply to comments. I really do. I just got a lot going on getting ready for the first drop. If you need me, email me at heavysettactical@gmail.com. All one word, heavysettactical@gmail.com. Or message me on Instagram, and within 24 hours you'll hear back. I don't think I've ever let a message roll out more than a day. Maybe on certain occasions, but... So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you for listening. I just wanted to kind of tell you where I was at. And, you know, we got some really cool models coming up. These are the 2 newest prototyped models. Premium steels, premium handle materials, premium heat treat. I follow Laren Thomas's recipes to a T. Pick up tips and tricks from Gary Creeley to Alan at Primitive Bear Knives to Jacob from Very Good Knife Company to Jacob from Exodus Knife and Tool. All of these guys answer questions. If I need input on something or I think I should be doing something a certain way, sometimes I'll reach out and they always get back to me and are always accommodating. I will be at Blade Show Atlanta, not selling my knives, but the first time going, I'm going to be going down and helping Jacob Peterson out at his stand, I believe. So, not to put his information out there, but it's going to be a really fun time. And any of you guys that are going to be down at Blade Show Atlanta, that's my first Blade Show. I will bring some prototypes in my backpack to show some people, but yeah, I'm going to be spectating for my first time down there. And yeah, I got some other side project models that are going to be on that drop too. So there's going to be some miscellaneous stuff, some Hunters, some EDC3s, some Hunters XLs. It's going to be fun. So just hang around. And when I finish out a knife, I'll tell you about that later. When I finish out something I don't like the color scheme of, or I just don't like, you know, the aesthetic of it or something, some of these prototypes that I have are in premium steels with premium heat treats. Nice, everything's all fit and finishes real nice, and I feel like they're wasted sitting here. So I'm also going to have a secondary page, I believe, where, you know, like I just don't like the colors on this knife. I tried out a new color scheme. I don't like it. What am I going to do? Just trash a knife? No. I'll put it up for like half price. So this is one of them in 20 CV. It's an EDC3 in 20 CV. And it's just got, I tried to do vintage micarta with OD green liners. And it just, I don't like it. So that's one of those half price ones I'm going to throw up on the site, and a couple others. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting my friends that are reviewing my knives. And yeah, all the love, guys. Honestly, you know, that it's not about anything but wanting to do something I love, provide a usable, functional tool that's going to last generation after generation for you and pass down to your sons. That is important to me. I have knives that are not even knives. They are my grandfather. My grandfather is survived by those two slip joints and that hunting knife that he got me when he got me my first hunting suit and my orange vest, and we went out there and killed a buck. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at this stuff. This stuff is not, these are not just tools to me. These are pieces in your life. This is a ticket for, you know, somebody buys this knife and they don't hike a lot, they don't fish a lot, but they really want to get a cool handmade fixed blade. That's a ticket to go on an adventure and use this knife, or take a bushcraft course. Learn how to make a campfire without a lighter. You know, learn how to do camp cooking and survival skills. I like to think of it like that as well. It's not just a tool. It's an invitation to go on an adventure or go hiking more or do something that you might not normally do. You know, some of these guys in the city that watch YouTube videos and reviews a lot, maybe they'll buy a knife and that's their reason to go out and take an adventure they haven't. I love the idea of that. So I'm going to have fun doing this. This video was a little more sappy than I thought, and that's just me, man. I enjoy what I do. I want you guys to enjoy what I do, and I don't want anyone to feel like they have any kind of, I've been ripped off or I can't get a hold of John. Those are two comments that are never going to be occurring. You can always contact me, and I decided to put I can't stand when makers don't have a contact line or a voicemail, or, you know, anything that you can just contact them straight through and you know they're going to hear it. So I thought somebody just knocked on the window. So must have been something. So on the website, I will have a phone number, an email address, and my social media listed. So you can pick up the phone and call me if there's any kind of issue. So thank you guys so much. God bless you. And if you haven't done anything with your dad for a while, let this video be a ticket for you to call him up and tell him you want to go bowling or hiking or fishing when it warms up. Get out there and have some fun, guys. Family's everything. So thank you. Have a great day. Have a good weekend.